What you're about to see is drawn from court records, told through dramatized illustrations. In June of 2021, an Iowa wife told police she slept through her husband's death, one floor above him. Her phone counted 170 steps. Ryan Cooper, 42, died in that recliner, and the steps were not the worst thing on her phone. An hour before she dialed 911, a message had already arrived on her phone. Remember those casings? No ifs, ands, or buts. Her reply took 3 words. Absolutely, 100%. By sunrise, she was the county's newest grieving widow. This is the story of Karina Cooper. And the one-word text she would swear under oath was actually 3. Traer, Iowa, farm country, fields to every horizon, and a farmhouse west of town where the Coopers were raising their family. Ryan Cooper was 42, a farmer. Early mornings, late harvests, hands that never sat still. His family would later say nothing made him prouder than having a family of his own. Kids upstairs, a wife beside him. Karina was his wife. Friends knew them as a settled couple until the jokes started to land wrong. At gatherings, friends heard Karina tell her husband more than once, "I could shoot you in the face." People laughed it off as dark humor. Ryan laughed with them. Nobody wrote the date down, but friends noticed friction. They'd later testify under oath that Karina was upset Ryan wouldn't give her financial support. Prosecutors would put it plainly, Karina lacked money of her own. Whatever she wanted next, she couldn't fund it. Then, in November of 2020, Karina opened a private browser window on her phone and started typing questions about bullets. 66 more searches would follow in a single day. Firearm basics, cleaning, bullet types. The neighbor came later. His name was Houston Danker. The neighbor. On December 13th, 2020, his friendship with Karina turned into something else. Within weeks, she was telling him, in writing, that she hated her husband and imagined traveling at his side. "I hate him," she wrote, "with a word in the middle we can't say here." By March of 2021, they were discussing a baby together. Fertility treatments, a family built on the far side of her marriage. That same March, Karina typed out a wish. "I'm wishing for a rogue semi-accident, no survivors." No accident came, and in May, Houston Danker's phone began searching for other ways a man could die. Antifreeze, sodium sulfate, methods, doses, traces. The searches sat in his history like a shopping list. There's no sign Ryan knew any of it. Not the neighbor, not the wishes. That June, he was simply a farmer in planting season. On the night of June 17th, the Cooper house went to bed ordinary. It would never be ordinary again. 3:13 a.m. Houston Danker's phone logs 244 steps. Somewhere in the dark, he is moving. 3:31. Karina's phone lights up. She sends him a single heart. He answers with devotion, then with business. Remember those casings, no ifs, ands, or buts. Karina's answer came back at 3:32 in the morning. Absolutely, 100%. His last message says his phone is going down. Then, love you. Then nothing. An hour before her 911 call came one final exchange. Him, "I'm gonna get this shit done." Her entire answer, one word, go. Remember that word? Go. 2 letters. An entire courtroom will come back to them. 4:23 a.m., Karina's phone starts counting steps. By 4:33, it has logged 170, nearly 400 feet of walking. She will tell police she was asleep the whole time. Asleep while her phone paced the house. Around 4:30 downstairs, 2 shots. Ryan Cooper, asleep in his recliner, never gets the chance to stand. 2 rounds fired. Police would find exactly 1 casing beside the recliner. Someone, it seems, had remembered. 4:46 a.m., Danker's phone logs 230 steps. The night swallows the rest. At 4:33, the minute her steps stopped, Karina dialed 911. Her account, a crashing noise, a husband shot while she slept. Deputies found her screaming, crying, barely finally able to give a statement. 3 of the children had been asleep upstairs the whole time. Grief looks like that. So does a performance. For the next 2.5 years, no one could say which this was. Karina buried her husband and stepped into the role of widow. Ryan's family wrapped her in their arms. They hugged her at holidays, told her they loved her. For years, they had no idea who they were holding. Then the paperwork started. Ryan's life was insured for $500,000. Sole beneficiary, his wife. 2 checks arrived, $514,882, then another $24,000 and change. She cashed both. For the record, that's not illegal. It's just memorable. 4 days after Ryan died, after police had already seized her phone, her Snapchat account was deleted. Remotely, someone, somewhere, was logging in and erasing, investigators noticed. Deleted, it turns out, is a strong word. Houston Danker's phone, that same July. Searches for Iowa prisons, how to delete a Snapchat, how to get away with a murder charge. When investigators finally asked Karina about Houston Danker, her answer was a performance. The neighbor, my friend? Anything between them? Absolutely not. Absolutely. The same word she'd sent him at 3:32 that morning. Investigators just didn't know it yet. The case went quiet. Whatever police suspected, they couldn't yet prove. For 2.5 years, Karina Cooper stayed free. What broke it open wasn't a witness. It was arithmetic. The quiet kind phones do all day without being asked. Digital examiners rebuilt what deletion was supposed to bury. The casing's message, the heart, the go, time-stamped to the minute. And the phones agreed on the choreography. His steps before, hers during, his after. 3 clocks telling one story. Her private browser gave up the rest. 66 firearm searches in a single November day. 7 months before the murder. Private browsing. It's private the way a diary with a bow on it is private. On February 19, 2024, 2 years and 8 months after Ryan died, deputies came for Karina Cooper. The charge, first-degree murder, and Houston Danker, the neighbor, the lover, would face the same charge. Karina would save her story for the witness stand. It did not go the way she planned. Iowa law gave the jury 2 paths to first-degree murder. Karina shot Ryan herself, or she aided and abetted the man who did. Aiding and abetting, help plan it, encourage it, make it possible, and the law treats you as the killer. But there was a catch. Karina's one exit. The state had to prove intent. Her intent, specific, personal, hers, which is why the whole case came down to her words. The wishes, the searches, the go, intent, time-stamped. July 2025, the trial was moved to Cedar Rapids, court TV cameras on every day of it. The state opened with her own words. I'm wishing for a rogue semi-accident, no survivors. Her own words projected for the jury to read. Then friends of the couple took the stand. One recalled the joke that wasn't, I could shoot you in the face. A bloodstain analyst walked the jury through the recliner. 2 shots. No movement afterward. And a scene someone had altered. By sitting on Ryan's body. Ballistics matched the casing to a Ruger rifle. One of the guns Danker had handed a friend to hold. Then came digital forensics investigator Tiffany Lord, carrying the messages Karina thought were gone. Every timestamp. Every word. The heart at 3:31. Remember those casings? Absolutely, 100%. The single word, go. All of it on a courtroom screen. The defense had one story left. Danker did this alone. A manipulated woman, an online fantasy that spun out of her control. For that story to work, the jury needed to hear it from Karina herself. On day 6, she took the stand. She cried. She said Danker frightened her, that he'd talked about killing Ryan and she never believed him. She admitted lying about the affair. Then the prosecutor put one exhibit back on the screen. 3:32 a.m. The word, go. Her answer, under oath, I know I sent more. I sent 3 messages in a row. Go to sleep, like putting periods in between the words. Not a command to a killer, a bedtime. That was her story. The state's answer came from investigator Lord. Could go really have been go to sleep? In my expert opinion, that is not possible. Correcting the forensic examiner under oath with the logs on screen. Bold. The 12 people listening would not need long. On July 11, 2025, after 8 days of trial, 12 jurors walked out to deliberate. They were back in about 3 hours. Barely time to reread the texts. Guilty. First-degree murder. In Iowa, that sentence writes itself. Life without the possibility of parole. Houston Danker never faced his own jury. On the morning his trial was to begin, he pled guilty. First-degree murder. The same life sentence. That left one appointment on the calendar. September 19th. Sentencing. And Ryan's family had waited 4 long years to speak. First, her lawyers took one last swing, a motion for a new trial. Judge Lars Anderson denied it from the bench. Then the judge asked if Karina wished to speak. She declined. After go to sleep? Nothing. Ryan's sister-in-law went first. She described years of hugging Karina, loving her, grieving beside her, then asked the only question left. Was it worth it? His sister Michelle addressed her directly. Ryan was sentenced to death by this murderer. Those of us left on earth were sentenced to life without Ryan. There is no justice. There will be no forgiveness. What I hope for now is simply closure. And then the last words Ryan's family ever owed her. My full, complete, and final message to you is, go to hell, life without parole, $150,000 in restitution to Ryan's estate. The mandatory sentence to the letter. Ryan's children are being raised without him. His sister said nothing made him prouder than having a family of his own. Karina Cooper sits in an Iowa prison. No appeal has surfaced, but one question followed everyone out of that courtroom. Here's what stays with you. Not the rifle, not the money, the word. One woman's whole defense came down to whether go was a command or a lullaby. The phone knew, it always knew, the steps, the searches, the timestamps. She just assumed no one would look. Ryan Cooper trusted the person beside him and the neighbor across the way. The ones we trust stand closest and see everything. Tell me below what you think she really typed. Until next time, be careful who you trust and take care of yourself.